Hey everybody, this is Kyle with KB History. So I was going to do a little bit of a different video today, and hopefully you like my voice better than the AI generated ones you've heard in the other videos thus far. But today I wanted to actually talk about something different, which is the Ukraine and Russia war and the recent incursion by Ukraine into Russia. So we're going to discuss that a little bit, and I'm just going to give my thoughts on why I think it's happening, what I think the consequence of this happening is, and just talk a little bit about the war more broadly. It's not really history yet, but it will be at some point, and so I thought it'd be useful to talk about it. Furthermore, I also want to quickly thank everybody for all the support, the likes, comments, subscriptions, everything on the videos I've made so far. It's been really, really great to do, and it's been awesome to see all the support you've given me. So thank you so much for that. And I hope that as I continue to learn how to do all this stuff, you will enjoy what I have to offer. So thank you. Okay, so getting into all of this stuff here. This is a great tool, by the way. This is called liveuamap.com. And what it is just basically a daily update of everything happening on the ground in the war. And you have different options as well. You can see in America, Israel, Palestine, Iran, all different conflicts around the world. Right now, we're going to be focusing on the Ukraine one. And if you haven't heard, Ukraine has actually launched an incursion into the actual national borders of Russia, not the Russian-controlled regions here, Luhansk and Donetsk or Crimea or anything like that, but the actual, nationally recognized borders of Russia. So it's a pretty bold move. I think that there's different reporting on why this is happening. Zelensky himself put out a sort of a cryptic statement, roughly saying that this is, in some way retaliation. Ukraine has been made to suffer tremendously. And so he thought it might be time for the Russians to feel something similar, how it feels to have their homeland invaded. I think that that's really just kind of PR. I think, in my opinion, the reason for this incursion, and this is it here, going up towards the Kursk kind of oblast. This is Kursk itself here. I don't know how much further they're really going to go. We'll see. At this moment, the Russian military is sort of coalescing around this area. They've rerouted many, many thousands of troops to counteract the Ukrainian offensive. But my thought is that this is actually a piece for negotiation at a later time. If the Ukrainians can show that they can invade parts of Russia, hold territory for any period of time, I think it makes the prospects of them getting some of the territory they've lost back much higher. And in any negotiation, I think that they will be looking for anything that they can give to Russia as evidence of, you need to give us this territory back if you want things in return. Before this incursion, if you went to the negotiating table, why would Russia say, or why would they accept the prospect of giving any territory back at all? It doesn't really make much sense for them because they're holding it. The Ukrainians thus far haven't been able to really push them out of any of this land. And in fact, up until this recent incursion, the Russians actually had been the ones on the offensive this whole summer. So that's why I thought it really didn't make sense for the Ukrainians to negotiate yet. However, now, as you can see, if they start to hold territory here, and we don't know, again, how big this is going to get, we don't know the extent of it, but if they can hold this territory, my thought is they'll come to Russia and say, hey, if you want this territory back, you need to give us back some of our territory that you've taken. I don't know if it'll work, but I think this is actually a long-term play for negotiation more than anything else. I don't think it's likely they hold this territory for a long period of time. I think that the Russians will eventually reroute so many troops to this area that it'll become really untenable to do so. But it's an interesting development, and it remains to be seen, I guess, where the war will go from here and what the Russians are really going to do to react to this. I mean, I know there already was pretty tremendous pressure on Putin within Russia because of the sort of failure of this war. Well, now if the Ukrainians start taking Russian territory and holding it, I think that pressure is going to ramp up significantly. And so, all in all, I don't know how likely it is that this territory will be held for a long period of time. But if the Ukrainians can hold it, I think that that really puts Putin in a terrible position. And, I didn't even mention at the simultaneous time that this was happening, there was a massive drone attack that took place on the city of Lipetsk, I believe it is. Yeah, I mean, Ukraine has really gone on the offensive in the last few days. And what we've seen in the past when Ukrainians were on the offensive in multiple regions of Ukraine, it actually really lessened support for the war within Russia. A lot of people thought, oh, if the Ukrainians push back too hard, Russian morale will actually go up because they'll feel the need to defend themselves, etc. But in reality, in a war that is brutally unpopular within Russia amongst the public, and I know the polling may say otherwise, but obviously Russian polling you have to take with a massive grain of salt. Actually, what's happened is that whenever the Ukrainians go on the offensive, support lessens because people see this war for what it is, which was an unnecessary and unilaterally aggressive move by Russia into Ukraine, really for no reason other than a colonial territorial grab. And so, frankly, I mean, if the war is already unpopular, dog, and then, you looks like you start losing the war that's unpopular, it's not like people are going to suddenly change their opinion on it. But let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you think of this video. I've never actually made a video where I recorded my voice before, so I know this is probably a little bit rambly, and I definitely need to improve the way that I do these things, but I would love to do more of these types of videos in the future. So let me know what I can improve. Get me any advice. I'll listen to anybody. And, again, let me know what you think about my short form videos that I'm making with the AI generation stuff. That's been a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying just learning about AI automation as a hobby. So thank you guys so much for everything, and I will talk to you guys again soon.